Bleach Soul Resonance has been out for a couple of days now, bro. I've been playing it since it dropped and I'm loving this game. I really am. I am loving this game. And I remember back when Brave Souls dropped and I was playing Brave Souls, and all I could think about, bro, is this game would be so good if they weren't little chibi characters. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, my gosh, this is all I've been waiting for, bro. And the game is so good. It's made by the same developers that made One Piece Fighting Path. It's my favorite One Piece game for sure. They know how to make a good game, like there's no doubt about it, and they definitely cooked here too. So in this one, I wanted to kind of talk about how the game works, you know, with the gacha system, characters leveling up and all of that shit. And I also wanted to talk about what I think would be the best route to go down when playing this game, like what you should do when going into this game. So if this is the kind of stuff you like to see, and leave a comment letting me know. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Let's get into the video. Okay, let's start off with the first thing I think you should be doing, and that is re-rolling. See, now it's a bit shaky. I'm a bit shaky on this one. I don't necessarily think you should or shouldn't re-roll, if that makes sense. So rerolling, first of all, I'm not doing that shit. Like, you ain't gonna catch me doing that shit. That's fucking long, especially in this game where a lot of people, you know, will say that it isn't long, but to me at least, that is just way too time consuming, having to create an email and all that shit. Yeah, fuck that. But I will say rerolling can give you an edge in the game where others that don't reroll and just start their accounts might not have. For instance, like if you just reroll until you get Bankai Ichigo on your first multi, and then you've got the rest of the currency in game to allow you to just wait for the next limited character, which is in 2 weeks, by the way. We know who it is too. It is Toshiro, so it gives you an edge there. So I would say the first thing to do, if you don't think it's long and you have the time, then reroll and just give yourself the edge in the game to begin with. Now, the next thing I think you should be doing is the story. So the story, at the moment, there is 8 chapters. I'm on chapter 4. I'm not saying to complete all the story, but the story is very important because as you play the story, more of the game opens up. So like the further you go, the higher the level you are, so, and you're gaining XP from all this, then the more of the game opens up, and obviously that's what you want. All the content of the game will open up, not to mention you're getting currency, XP and mats for the game when you're doing it. So this to me is the best thing to be focusing on in the beginning, at the very least. Story is very important, especially because you want to open up everything in the game. There is a lot in the game, so even though this looks empty, there is a lot in the game. So as you're unlocking these things, there is all of this stuff right here. So there's all of these events, is the login. So this is what I think that you should be focusing on as well when you're starting the game. So most gacha games, if you're familiar with gacha games, most of them will have like the beginners follow guide or whatever, like rookie training. This is that. Day one, this is the stuff that you're going to be wanting to complete in. I'm not gonna lie, them wanting you to do chapter 3 day 1 is crazy, and then they want you to complete chapter 4 day 2. Like, bro, they just want me to complete the story mad fast. But this is what they ask you to do. You get the rewards, don't look great, but this is like, you're gonna want this kind of thing. So these, by the way, are important. These are like, if you play if you play JJK, these are basically like AP packs, bro. Like, these are stamina pills, so you will earn these as you go through the game too. So stamina can be an issue if you're just trying to like blitz through everything, but that's one major thing I want everyone to take in mind as well. So this game, like, you're in it for the long haul. Like, you don't need to complete everything day 1, day 2, day 3, even the first week. You don't need to. Like, you can take your time, bro. Like, you're good. Like, you have 2 weeks until the next character drops too. It's more than enough time to get everything. So back to this, you can take your time doing these. There is a lot of story, so the story isn't just the normal, but there's 8 chapters of normal, and then there is hard, where there's also 8 chapters, and extreme as well. So I do believe there's less stages in extreme, but you know, you're not gonna have to worry about extreme for a while yet. So everything will give you XP too. So if I go back here and I go to supplies, for instance, these stuff is what's going to give you XP, which will bring me to the next thing I think you should be doing, and it's playing these supply things these supply events once you unlock them, but not farming them necessarily. I think that what you should do once you unlock them is just go in and just play the ones that you haven't played already. So get all your first clear rewards on pretty much everything that you can, and just try to manage your stamina as best as you can. Does story take stamina? Let me just quickly check this. So what's good is it seems like story doesn't actually take stamina, so that is really good. So you can, whenever you are low on stamina, you can just go back to the story if you can and just play that. But yeah, try to first time clear as much of the permanent content as you possibly can. Okay, so before we move on to what I think you should be doing next, well, I wouldn't say next, not necessarily in order. It's like these things I would say is like, other than story, moving on to those permanent events and stuff, it's that may be in order, but what we're going to talk about next is you kind of want to do simultaneously with the rest, and we're going to talk about the characters. So what I was going to say that you should be doing is focusing on building up one team. So at the beginning, mono teams doesn't seem to be very necessary, not at least to complete story or the material events, like the resources events. But the later you get into the game and the more hard difficulty content that you're unlocking, it seems like it will be very necessary to have mono teams. So here already, these three SSRs is like the peak red slasher team. So it'd be good to focus on building a team like that, a mono team. So yeah, focus on one team and building out one team so that you can invest your resources into that one team and have them as strong as possible. And once you do, and you start getting more materials and your account starts getting more stacked in that way, then you can start focusing on other characters and building more teams than just your one team, because you can just use the one team you have to clear all the content in the game anyways. That being said, we should talk about how to level up your characters and stuff. So this is Ichigo, my Bankai Ichigo. We have his stats right here. It tells you his HP, attack, defense, and all of this stuff. I'm not going to read it all off. You do get rewards for leveling your characters up, by the way, so this is really good. I feel like this is like a very worse version of Brave Souls, because Brave Souls, they give you a lot of currency for leveling up characters, but this gives you a standard ticket. It looks like every 20 levels for a character, but you also get materials, which is good, and you know, gold, so that is always good. It's always good because a lot of games you just level up and get nothing for it. So to ascend a character, you will need a lot of these materials, which you will find, as well as let me see if I can find a character, as well as these like books. This is like XP books to actually level them up. But all of this stuff you can find in supplies. Like here's the character XP books, here's gold, this is for weapon XP, and this is for ascending characters, the skill materials. Wait, is it? No, sorry, this here is for basically leveling up the skills, which I'll show you in a minute. This is for ascending your characters, to basically limit break them, and this is to do the same for your weapons and the same for your stamps. So we'll go back to the characters now. So we'll go on weapons. So the way the game works is the character has the weapon and you want to put a weapon stamp on it. I don't have Bankai Ichigo's dedicated weapon stamp yet. I will summon on his banner soon. I literally just haven't had the time, but you will get it and you will put it here, and if you get dupes, you can ascend it here for obviously better effects, and you'll be able to level up the weapon that you have here. You can ascend and then level it up with with the weapon XP stuff as well. So we can move to here, skill. So this is the stuff this is basically your character's kit. They'll have, you know, this seems to be the same on every character for dodge and counter. They all have their own thing. So Ichigo, for instance, has different effects for when he's in holified mode and when he's in base. These are your basic attacks. You have a special attack, which I'm sure if you're watching this, I mean, I'm not sure, but if you are watching this, I will assume that you know what special attack is. That is where, you know, you can fill that meter up that is right by your HP, and then, you know, every character has a different way of triggering their special attack. There's that, and then he has his passive, and then you can unlock these passive boosts by playing a certain game mode that gives you the materials, allows you to unlock these passive boosts. And technique is pretty much like your skill, your first skill. I mean, there is only one skill technically pressable like this in here, but that's your technique. That has its own effect. Ichigo has 2 effects, so is able to change once he goes into his holification mode, and he has his ultimate. So you can level these all up with the material that I showed when I was showing off the material events. Boundary here, this is where you feed your dupes into a character. So it looks like to fully max out a character, you are going to need 7 copies of that character. So the base copy and then 6 dupes, which kind of sucks. I mean, the gacha's pretty good in my opinion, but that is a lot of dupes. That is a lot of dupes. So we do have stamps too. So we spoke about the weapon stamp, so you can get their weapon stamp from the banners. Here is core stamps. So with these, you can get these from an event. I don't know if it will let me go to the event. I'm not sure. If I hold it down, maybe you're able to play that event, I believe 2 times a day, and then you'll be able to get different stamps from it. You can, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so you just go to trial here and it'll be right here. You're able to get these different stamps and shards, and like they're different. So for instance, this is for like /DPS. That looks like is it just DPS, not specifically slash. Strike damage, okay. So this is HP. So they all just like do different things, and you can just like focus on one or the other if you really want. But this takes 40 stamina, which is kind of expensive, but you do get 2 free daily attempts every day, so just keep that in mind. That is really good. So those stamps will level up your character quite a bit, because if you get a set of 3, then you will get extra boost for that. Like it says here, 2-piece, you get this, 3-piece. If you played gacha games that include stuff like this, it's basically equipment. Yeah, then you'll pretty much understand how this works. Yeah, that's pretty much what you need to know about characters and leveling them up. You can click down here, not this one. I mean, this is good too. It can recommend how to build out your character if you're not too sure yourself. But if you click this, then it will tell you what is available for you to actually level up, or recommend for you to level up on the character next. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about the characters and leveling them up. So yeah, what I say is learn that, and then focus on leveling up one team and investing your resources into one team. Get them strong enough to be able to clear as much of the game content as you can. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about the gacha system. It's like my favorite part of any gacha game, bro, which is like weird. Like this should be like the worst part, bro, but I don't know, to me it feeds my addictions, bro. So this game, it works very much like Fighting Path to me. So this is the premium currency that you have. It is Jades, and it is 160 for a single, 1,600 for a multi. These are limited gacha tickets. I believe if it works like One Piece Fighting Path, you can grab these tickets, save them. Even after this banner's gone, you'll be able to use that ticket on whatever the next limited character is. I might be wrong, but I'll be surprised if I am, because that is how it works in Fighting Path. At least they're the same devs, so I assume that they followed roughly the same thing, because everything else seems to be the same. Like this, you can go to full pity for 80. There's no 50-50, so 8 multis and you'll guaranteed get the character. There's no 50-50, and the only SSR character on here is the rated up character, so that is really fucking good in my opinion. And by the looks of how the game is, the amount of content there is in this game, you will be getting enough currency to grab the character. I don't know if you'll be able to grab every character, especially if they're releasing every 2 weeks, but you will most certainly be able to grab every other character. And then here is the weapon stamp for the character. These will always provide a major buff to whatever character it is. It's a limited stamp, and I would say if you're going to pity for a character, you should do so making sure that you can also pity the stamp, which is only 4 multis. So you should always just have 120 12 multis ready for you to just guarantee the character and the stamp. There's no point just feeding random tickets into a character if you don't plan to go to pity, if you're not able to, because then it's just a waste. Well, it's not necessarily a waste, because we'll talk about how the pity for these characters, let me see, can I find the details anywhere? Guaranteed. The pity for these characters are shared between the characters. So if I leave this here and I don't summon any more on Ichigo, it will only take me 7 multis to get Toshiro when he drops in 2 weeks. So that is also amazing. It just feels like the gacha is very forgiving. Other than obviously the 0.8 rate, it's actually very good. Like you can have that 0.8 rate, bro. It's not that deep. You can still get lucky in between, and like you're laughing. So I don't have it here, but there is a select banner that you will have once you enter the game. I got too quick and eager, and I already used my select banner because I didn't expect to get the character in 2 multis, but I did. I picked Kisuke and I got him in 2 multis, but it works out fine anyway. I would recommend you don't do that and you use as much of the standard tickets to get as much of the characters as you can. You will get one every, I believe it's 50 in the start, but now it's gone to 80 for me. I think someone double check that and put it in the comments, but I would say to just focus on this, and then once you have like 50 spare or some shit, go over and do the select banner once you've gotten as much out of this banner as you possibly can. And then we have the weapon stamps for all the standard characters here too, and you can choose which ones you want. I'm obviously gonna go for Kisuke, but I haven't really had the time to do that. Yeah, I've only done 1 multi here. So that is pretty much the characters. For the Jades, I would recommend to save these. Just save these. Don't even buy tickets like with your Jades until you are about to summon. The reason why I say this is because that was such a big thing in Fighting Path, and Fighting Path introduced characters where you didn't use these tickets. You used only the premium currency, and I'm not sure if they would go down that route with this. I'm not sure, but if they do, at least you didn't spend all your currency on tickets and you ended up having it saved, because it doesn't matter anyway, because you can always just exchange it for tickets when you're going for the character with tickets anyways. So there's that. And like I said, if you're going for a character, you should aim for their weapon stamp to be fine either way, because they are giving out a lot. So they're giving out 300 over the course of the first 2 weeks of the game. So you're gonna bro, like more than likely you're gonna walk away with at least most of these characters, unless you're like the super most unlucky guy on the planet, which is me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for that shit, but I don't mind it because I do love this game. And that's just for this stuff, by the way. It says 300, but you will probably get more in lots of places, events that will be coming out to, like all of this stuff. There's all of this stuff to do. You can go to character trials. You can try out the SSR characters here, but that shit could just be another video anyway. That's pretty much everything I wanted to speak about today. You can go here and move down to the calendar and see. In 2 weeks, around week 3, they will be dropping Toshiro, and he is a blue unit. We currently don't have any blue SSRs, so that means he is going to be very high value. So I do recommend everyone to try and summon for him if you can, and just prepare. Save up as much as you can. Maybe reroll, get your Ichigo, get as many, just spend all your standard tickets, save up your premium currency, and save up your tickets if you've already got Ichigo. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoy this game. I really want it to do well. I want this to be a mainstay on the channel. I do love this game. Hope this helps. Catch you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe.